So here in a small baking dish, I picked up a rotisserie chicken and I just like shredding it into the container that I'm gonna use. It saves me from doing dishes and it's just really easy. So right on top, this is some of my favorite pasta sauce. This is the Bertolli 5 cheese. So this stuff is super flavorful. We're just gonna pour that right into the chicken. You don't wanna use the whole container. We don't want it to be too saucy, but just enough so we can coat all of the chicken. And we can always add in more later. So I just like adding little by little. But this is like, it's looking enough. So my favorite thing about the rotisserie chicken is that you get the pieces of the skin mixed in and the chicken always comes out so juicy. So it is perfect. Especially if I'm just making lunch for myself. It is just a really fast meal I can make and it lasts me for a really long time. All right, so once you have this chicken set, we're gonna move this to the side. So here I have some melted butter. This is about 1 stick of melted butter. And here I have some panko breadcrumbs. So we're just gonna start pouring that in there. And we want a good amount of panko breadcrumbs. This is gonna go on top of our chicken. So mixing it with the butter is gonna help crisp it up once we put it into the oven. And like once you start mixing it, you can see that it changes color and it gets a little bit smoother. So we're just gonna thoroughly mix this until all of the breadcrumbs are coated in the butter. So super easy, just like that. Once you see that there's no dry breadcrumbs, we can bring back in our, here's our chicken dish. And we're just gonna start pouring these breadcrumbs right over. So after we're done with this, I do have my oven preheating on 350 degrees. And this is gonna turn out so amazing. If you haven't used the panko breadcrumbs before, I highly recommend them. They always come out super crispy. All you need to do is just mix it with a little bit of butter and you are good to go. Get the last little bit here, and we just want a nice big layer. So just smooth it out on top, and this is ready to pop into the oven. So it's gonna go in there for about 15 to 20 minutes. Look at these awesome dinner rolls I picked up at the grocery store. These are super fluffy, and they're nice and big. So today's one of those days where I am only making food for myself, so I don't have to make too much. Here I have some melted butter and some Italian seasoning. So I'm just gonna pour a bunch in there. This stuff is so amazing. And we need some garlic powder. So just go ahead and mix this together, and this is gonna be our little brush for the dinner rolls. So once we put this in the oven, this is gonna give so much flavor to the dinner rolls and it's gonna help crisp them up a little bit. And I just love spreading garlic over rolls. I feel like they look so appetizing already and they're not even cooked. So once you're done brushing the inside, we're just gonna load it with some cheese. So here I picked up some sliced provolone, which is some of my favorite. This stuff melts super easy and it's just so convenient in these circle shapes. So I'm gonna do both sides of the bread. I'm just gonna put 2 slices on each. This is gonna join our chicken in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes. So here we go, fresh out the oven. You can see that the panko breadcrumbs got some really nice color. I'm just gonna leave this to the side and bring back in our awesome dinner rolls. As you can see why I like using the provolone cheese. It just melts over super well. And all we have left to do is I'm just gonna take some tongs and we're just gonna start loading these things up. So you can do as much or a little meat as you want. I like these to be really stuffed, so I'm gonna do a hefty amount. You can see this we're gonna get a nice contrast of textures. We got the crispiness from the panko breadcrumbs. It goes so well with this recipe. And all that's left to do is put the top on and we can start eating. The best thing about these is that you can just break it apart and you can just dig right in. This just has all the perfect flavors that you want. It's so cheesy.